Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Sesame Street collection from China Glaze. These polishes were sent to me from China Glaze themselves, so in the description box below I will link their site, their Instagram page, and my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from this collection. And I know it's been said to death, but I know if I don't say it, somebody is going to have only seen my review, but they do have these super cute little tops that say Sesame Street, and then they have 3 different characters that come on the tops, which would include Oscar the Grouch, Big Bird, and Cookie Monster. So there are 12 shades to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Living in the Elmo-ment, and this is a bright cherry red with holographic glitter. So here's our first coat of Living in the Elmo-ment. This covers really well here on this first coat. I thought it was definitely going to be more sheer because of the glitter that's in here, but it is almost opaque in just one coat. Formula is very smooth and easy to apply. It's not thick or chunky like some of these kind of polishes can be. So here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one is going to dry down pretty textured, so you will want 1, maybe 2 coats of a glossy top coat to finish this off, and a peel-off base coat because removal is going to be extremely difficult with the amount of glitter that's in this polish. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Ernie Your Stripes, and this is a peachy orange base, and then it has a strong gold shimmer. Here's our first coat of Ernie Your Stripes. So this one's pretty sheer here on this first coat, more so than building up the base color. We are building up the shimmer that's in this polish. The formula on this one is also smooth and easy to apply. I didn't have any trouble with running or pooling or staining with this. So here's our second coat, and that's building up well in 2 coats, but it's not completely opaque, so I am going to go in for a third coat. This one is going to dry down a little bit dull, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off, or a matte top coat if you prefer that finish. This one is going to dry slightly textured, so you will want a glossy top coat for that reason as well. Here's our third coat, and that does cover completely in 3 coats for me. This one, nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove. This is mostly a shimmer that we are building up. You might need to go in for a 4th coat too if you have more of a visible nail line than I do. So there's 3 coats. Up next we have Beak On Fleek, and this is a mustard leaning banana yellow cream that dries to a matte finish. Here's our first coat of Beak On Fleek. So this is pretty patchy and sheer on this first coat. Formula feels okay. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but it's not terribly difficult to work with like some other matte drying polishes have been in the past. I was slightly disappointed with this one. This was the one I was most excited for, but you will see as I build it up on 3 coats that I just couldn't get it streak free no matter what I did, how thick of a coat I did. I did do 4 coats for my swatch photo, but I do stop at 3 for my videos. This one is going to dry down to a fully matte finish, so you will want a top coat if you don't like that finish. So here's our third coat, and that does cover completely in 3 coats. This one also stained the skin around my nails, but it definitely did not stain my actual nails, so bear that in mind when you are removing this. Nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Trash Can Do Attitude, and this is kind of a pale army green, and then it has a strong flash to it, and this is a pearly finish. Here's our first coat of Trash Can Do Attitude. So this one covers pretty well here on this first coat. It's not entirely opaque though, so I am going to go in for a second coat. The formula is smooth and easy to work with, no running or pooling or staining. You do want to work in as straight up brush strokes as possible and not super thick coats because some of these brush strokes do hang around once it's fully dry. Here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one is also one that's going to show any imperfections in your nails, so if they need to be buffed or if you have like dents or ridges, this is going to show every single one of them, so bear that in mind as well. This will dry down a little dull, so you'll want a glossy top coat, but nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have To Be Sesame, and this is a kind of teal green glitter with holographic glitter as well. Here's our first coat of To Be Sesame. So this covers pretty well here in this first coat, obviously not entirely opaque, so I am going to go in for a second coat. The amount of glitter that you get out with this is absolutely ridiculous. It is so beautiful and blingy on your nails. I absolutely love this finish, and I hope China Glaze does more of these. This is a smooth, easy to work with formula, no running or pulling or staining on this one. So here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats. This one is going to dry super duper textured, so you will want a glossy top coat, maybe 2 coats to finish this off, and definitely a peel off base coat if you don't like the process of removing glitter. Otherwise, I would recommend pure acetone if you do plan on wearing this for more than just a couple of days. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Dat Color Dough, and this is a denim blue micro glitter in a clear base. Here's our first coat of Dat Color Dough, and this one is pretty sheer on the first coat. You get a good amount of glitter out, but it's not like the previous polish was. If this was in a blue tinted base, it would help coverage tremendously. This one could be doubled as a topper, but you do want to bear in mind how dense this glitter is when choosing what color to put it over. So it's building up well here in 2 coats, but I am going to go in for a third coat because it's not entirely opaque. The formula on this is smooth and easy to work with, no running or pulling on this one either, and I also didn't have to do any like fishing for this glitter. It does spread out decently evenly across the nail with minimal manipulation. So here's our third coat, and that does cover 99% in 3 coats. I could still see a couple little spots that could have used some spot treatment, but I didn't worry about that too much. This is going to dry extremely textured. Also, you will want 1 to 2 coats of a glossy top coat to finish this off, and a peel off base coat again, or pure acetone when removing this. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Grover It, and this is a royal blue jelly base full of blue micro glitter. Here's our first coat of Grover It. So this is kind of what I was talking about in the last one with the tinted base. It'll definitely bring the opacity levels up. Formula on this one is good and easy to apply. I am going to go ahead and build this up with a second coat though, because it's not entirely opaque. I also didn't have any running or pulling or staining with this one. So here's our second coat. That does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one is going to dry down not only dull but textured, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this one off, or a matte top coat if you do prefer that finish. This does actually look beautiful both ways. This one is also going to take some scrubbing to remove. If you don't like removing glitter, once again you will want a peel off base coat under your manicure. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have I Count Even, and this is a super sheer light purple, it's like a, what is the word? Lilac, a lilac purple jelly. So here's our first coat of I Count Even. So obviously this one's very sheer here on this first coat, and it is going to build up to be sheer on 3 coats as well. A lot of people shat on this polish, but I think it actually has a really good place in the nail world. A lot of us have these nails that are stained sort of yellowy from the amount of polish that we wear, purple being the color opposite on the color wheel. It will counter the yellow that's in your nails. So built up on 2 coats, it should hide a good amount of yellow that could be stained on your nails, and you could use this very well for a clean, natural, bare naked nail look, or under nail art for kind of like a clean, negative space manicure. So I do think this has a great place in the nail world, and I actually thoroughly enjoy this one. But obviously not completely opaque in 3 coats. It is going to dry glossy all on its own, and nothing in here is going to dry textured. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Amazing, and this is a lavender frosty polish. So here's our first coat of Amazing. So this covers really well here on this first coat. It's borderline completely opaque, not totally for me, so just depending on your application you might be able to get this in just one coat, but I am going to show you what a second coat looks like today. Formula is okay. Obviously it's pretty brush strokey here, and those don't go away as it dries. This does cover completely in 2 coats. You do want to be mindful of those brush strokes again because they will hang around for the duration of your manicure. This is also another polish that's going to show every dent, divot, ridge, everything in your nails, so bear that in mind. This one is going to dry to like a metallic finish. If you don't like that finish, you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off, but nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have I Believe in Snuffy, and this is a peachy pink with a golden shimmer, and then here it is next to Ernie Your Stripes, because this one leans more orangey peach, and then Snuffy leans more pinky peach. Here's our first coat of I Believe in Snuffy. And this covers pretty well here on this first coat. Unlike Ernie Your Stripes, you're building up mostly the shimmer. This one does have more of a tinted base to it, so it is easier to build up to full opacity. Formula is also smooth and easy to work with, no running or pulling or staining on this one. So here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats. This one is going to dry down on the dull side, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off. It's also going to dry with a slight texture, but nothing in here like should give you a texture, but it does dry with the slightest bit. So you will want a top coat for that reason as well, but nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Monsterpiece, and this is a magenta pink with those holographic micro glitter. It has the same kind of finish and formula as To Be Sesame did. Here's our first coat of Monsterpiece. So this one does cover pretty well here on this first coat. It's not completely opaque, so I am going to go for a second coat, but the formula is very smooth and easy to work with. Again, it's not too thick or too thin, especially considering the amount of glitter that's in here. I expected it to be more on the thicker side. So here is our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats. This one is going to dry down not only dull but extremely textured, so you will want 1 to 2 coats of a glossy top coat to finish this off. If you don't like removing glitter, you will want to use a peel-off base coat underneath your manicure. Otherwise, you will be scrubbing with pure acetone to take this one off. So there is 2 coats. And lastly for today we have For Real Though, and this is a bright fuchsia pink. I would call this a Crelly formula. And here's our first coat of For Real Though. So this one I described as more of a Crelly because it's not as sheer as a jelly would be in my opinion, and it also doesn't dry extremely glossy. That being said, it's also not quite up to cream status. Formula is good, smooth and easy to apply, no running or pulling or staining, just a little bit sheer. So here's our second coat, and I stopped at 2 coats. I'm not really sure why. I definitely did 3 for my swatch photo, and it's definitely, I can still see nail line. Nothing in here is going to dry textured though or be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. So my favorite of the collection is To Be Sesame. This is a really cute all glitter polish. It does have the holographic glitter in it, full coverage in 2 coats. I really like that. The holographic that's in here is a holographic glitter as opposed to like a spectra flare, so it is very like immersed in the polish. So To Be Sesame is my favorite. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this collection. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.